Hello viewer, we're in Monaco and a few days before the Monaco Grand Prix, and this is pole position. So now we're going to see if we can go all the way around the circuit in one shot, a non-scripted circuit walk. Here we go. First got to get across the road. So obviously the line just there is the start line. Up there somewhere is the finishing champagne stirring area. A lot of traffic today. So this is the start straight, which isn't straight at all. Pit exit over there with the cloth on top. So let's see if we can do this without getting run down. As I say, today is the 21st of May 2025. It's Wednesday, and on Sunday is the Formula 1 Grand Prix. This is the Automobile Club of Monaco. So it's been a few days before anything happens. I keep seeing drivers and people wandering around looking at the circuit, which is not unusual. So only 50 meters to Sandoval. So we start straight, the famous Sandoval corner, and the start of the big hill up to the casino. Unbelievable amount of stuff going on here. See, they leave lots of gaps in the barriers so that people can get around and get the bus and all that sort of stuff. And then today, tomorrow, they seal up all the gaps. Up Beau Rivage. Oh, one thing I did miss. I'll just go back a moment. So you can see the little set of chairs there. That's a quite interesting place to watch the race from, because you're very right on top of the Sandoval corner, where a lot of excitement happens. In fact, just about here is where you'll see most of the crashes on the end up. I once went to a party in that building there. Nice view, much better on TV once the first lap's sorted itself out. So, carry on, back up the hill. Back up Beau Rivage. See all the technology kicking around? Things cable tied onto barriers all over the place. Microphones, cameras, sensors. We'll see a lot of those as we go around. So a lot of the people with offices around here, they close their offices for these few days and they rent them out to the teams and tourist organisations and all that sort of stuff. So today there's a lot of offices being moved around, computers being closed up into sealed rooms so that the parties can begin tomorrow and then go crazy on Sunday. The little train. How many Formula 1 circuits do you see a little train? It's quite a hill, this. Not joking, quite a hill. We'll cross over at the zebra and take a look at the view of the port. Well worth looking at. It's well prepared. So you can see the stands. Behind the stands is the start line. To the left you have the swimming pool, the paddock, not the paddock, the pits. Above the pits we have the Palace of Monaco, and then going further left all the way on the other side there you can see all the motorhomes in the actual paddock and a few boats. And in fact down here is the actual straight just after the Nouvelle Chicane, but we'll go there soon. Monaco in its finest. Okay, made it back without being run down. We're sort of halfway up Beau Rivage. In the old days there used to be a stand on the left here as well, but I guess you just didn't see a great deal. Although last year, 2024, there was an absolutely massive crash here where Perez touched K-Mag, I think, and Perez spun off onto the wall and exploded even before he got to Casino Square for the first time. Lotus 7. I did a triathlon once where you had to run up this hill 3 times. In fact, we ran the whole circuit 3 times. The Tête de Chien, the famous Tête de Chien. There's a place to take a photo from. Continue. This is the Monaco Heart Clinic. Okay. I've actually been to the heart clinic for stress tests for the triathlon stuff. There's a little stand here, halfway up the hill. So this gives you a little bit of idea of all the cables. Oh boy, you're going to see cables later. For the moment, these are just a few cables. That's the business side of a video wall for that stand. You see, we have trains all over the place as well, because when people crash, trains are by far the fastest way to get people off the circuit. See, this is usually a zebra crossing, but it's already been closed up. So this is the famous Massenet, a very tricky, fast, tightening corner before you plunge into Casino Square. This is the Hotel de Paris on our left. So that was pretty much the end of Massenet and into Casino Square. That's a nice stand to be on now, especially now they've got the enormous TV. Casino Square stand. We'll follow the circuit round. People park all over the place here. So, bonjour. Okay, so GoPros are not allowed around the Hotel de Paris on certain days. The casino, what can you say? Lots of wheels and dice and card games. So anyway, Casino Square. I did a YouTube in January about the start of the Monte Carlo Rally, which was all from just here. That was the only bit of the Monte Carlo Rally I saw. Okay, so that is Casino Square, round a tight right-hander, then blip your way down the hill to Mirabeau. I'll get off the road. So there's something interesting here. There's a bump. And people always wonder when they're watching the race, they wonder why is there a bump here? Well, there's a bump here because there's a road joining from the left. So as you see, that road comes down, and normally you can drive up and down here. So it means you have to have a bit of a bump. And if you're driving straight down the hill, it's really uncomfortable and quite unexpected, unless you know there's a road there. Switch sides. Okay, we are absolutely zinging down the hill now. So these were all the nightclubs in the old days. Now they're closed shops. That's progress for you. People checking out the manhole covers. So the holes in the road. So the great big building in front is called the Mirabeau. Thus, Mirabeau corner. Have to check. So you see hiding in the bushes there, we have another crane. Another famous place for people to crash into this corner. So quite often people take a dive down the inside here. If someone's pulling into the corner and slightly wide, then sometimes there's a gap. They dive down the inside, the two cars touch, and one ends up in the barriers. Not unusual. Or if they get away with it, they can go straight down there and do a spin turn to get out again, because that's quite definitely a dead end. So this is the, depending on your age, Station hairpin, Lowe's hairpin, Grand Hotel hairpin. At the moment it's the Fairmont hairpin. It's been through so many different owners, this hotel. It's a beautiful big hotel, swimming pools, all that sort of stuff, so it's changed hands a few times. The view back up the hill, plenty of traffic. Look at this thing. So this is a corner where these days lots of people take photos of supercars going around in normal life, not during Grand Prix. So heading down to Poitiers next. This is one of the Marshall stations down here, plus plenty of technology, which we're going to have to squeeze past. This is the Marshall station, I think. A little bit further round. So down into Poitiers. A few years ago, all that was sea. This is Manterra, the latest piece of Monaco land reclamation. So the beautiful Manterra, Maritera, not Manterra, Maritera, as in sea and land. Terra. Okay, so that was Poitiers, sign of the occasional Ocon Gasly crash. Sign. That's also where Ayrton Senna crashed into the wall that year when he was sort of way out in front and sort of lost the plot. But he lived in Mirabeau at the time, so he literally had to walk 100 meters to get back to his house. How cool is that? If you're going to crash, you might as well crash near home. into the very black tunnel, which is not black at all because it's got all these lights. As I say, we might as well stick to the road because there's not going to be a lot of traffic coming up here today. I won't take the racing line though. I will at least stay in the cycle track. If you can see all the lights, lots of floodlights. I don't know if they might well go brighter during the actual race to try compensate for the sunshine outside, which is really bright, of course. Oh, we painted the ceiling white. Oh, that helps. Last thing you need is to go into a black tunnel at 250k. Not a lot you can say about the tunnel really, except it's very long. I've done various races where we've run through here when the road was obviously closed. Somewhere down here there's usually two cameras, one facing upstream, one facing downstream, and they switch from one to the other quickly as the cars go past. I don't know if they do that anymore or if it's up on the ceiling. Oh, this could be it. This could be all part of it up here. One of the warning boards, the signalling boards. I'll show you what the other side looks like. So this is yet to be sealed up. Somewhere there will be spare bits. Pretty little Ferrari. So, exit of the tunnel. 150 meters to the Nouvelle Chicane. Called the Nouvelle Chicane because there was an old chicane and they moved it into a new position about, I don't know, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. It's not that nouvelle anymore to my mind, but there you go. Only 100 meters now. So after the relative peace and quiet of the tunnel, we're now coming back into the mayhem, which is the pit area and the port area. Look at that secret tunnel. This takes you pretty much back up to remember where I said the heart clinic was? That sort of takes you pretty much back up there. Lots of parked cars that don't really know they're parked, they're just trying to go somewhere and they're stuck. So in the old days there used to be a stand here. That was a tiny stand. I think that's a photographer's stand. So this is it. This is the bumpy bit in the Nouvelle Chicane. Many a person is going to many a car is going to have a problem with that. The other one they have a problem with, you can't quite see it now. It's sort of the orange end of the barriers over there. Let's not walk over their newly painted sign. So, Nouvelle Chicane. Plenty of space to spin around and recover when it goes totally wrong. So as you can see, it's now dead straight. It is now dead straight. Not that way, it's not. Okay. We'll let these guys get out of the way a bit. This is a new one. Not totally sure what it is, but it looks like a very expensive restaurant overlooking the Grand Prix circuit on a floating barge. There's some money there, not just the boats, but the cost of a weekend of parking in Monaco during the Grand Prix. Wonderful overtaking opportunity down into this corner. So 50 meters to the next corner, whose name I have temporarily forgotten. It's on the tip of my tongue, quite literally. It's a very, I remember it's a classic French word. I'll subtitle it. It'll come back to me. I think logically it sounds like a really good, not logically, it sounds like a really cool idea to see the Grand Prix from a boat. But honestly, I think you're going to be a bit low down. You'd be much better off with a TV. Now these stands on the right, these are all created from nothing. Normally that's just a big flat area. These are the famous K stands. At the K stands you get an excellent view of the entire section, pretty much from the Nouvelle Chicane all the way down to the entrance of the swimming pool. And if you're right on the top row and you avoid the trees, you can look down the other side and you can see the start line. One of the only places to pay for a ticket and see the start line. Very top row. I suspect they are the most expensive seats and I expect they're gone very quickly. So Kay gets this nice big TV screen. So here's a popular place people hit the wall. Slight touch there, really throws you out going into the swimming pool section. Very fast section, very tricky to get right. super quick reactions to get around that corner, the next corner, and then the next 2 corners before Raskas. You get it wrong, like many people have, you end up in the wall on the left, which you can't see because of all the trucks. You are not going to go in the swimming pool on the right. That's for sure. So more stands, the N stand and the O stand out on what we call the T-bar, technically in the port. Structure right in front of us is the control center, totally built from scratch, as are all these buildings. Come delivered on lorries and assembled like Lego. There's a crane coming. So having gone past the swimming pool, we've now got a quick right and a quick left into Raskas. So everything you see up there is pit lane. I wonder if we can go up there. Well, we'll have a wander. So for the moment, just to point out the stand. So for reference, the L Tribune is the absolute best to my mind. You have to be high up and right against the far left as you're looking at it, because then you get the view down over the pit lane, which is nice. And also behind me, you got access to the big TV screen. Unfortunately, the lorry is sitting on top of the corner. Ah, found it. So this is another corner which can throw people off. If you cut it too tightly, you lift up a little and you end up in the barrier just there. So having passed the swimming pool section, the next highlight is the Raskas. The T stand. This is a relatively new stand. This stand has got, you see the sort of phone cabin things there where all the commentators go, and on the top are the big party places, corporate hospitality suites. Have to have some money to go up there. So meanwhile, coming up to Raskas. Now what is also quite interesting is the day and the night before the Grand Prix, this entire road will be a party, because on the right there's lots of bars, and they all explode out onto this track, and the track is covered in people, beer, peanuts, all that stuff. So the bridge here, the Pirelli bridge, is particularly interesting as well, because that's the main route from the paddock to the pits. So all the drivers and everybody will hang out in the paddock for their hospitality, and go over this bridge to drop down into the pits. I don't know if we can go up the side here. We will if we can. That's the Raskas. Oh, it says on the top, the Raskas. I spent many a Grand Prix there. Oh, yes, we can. So, this is the Raskas corner. Entry and exit. So we're going to take a little detour now, head down the side of the port and see what we can see of the paddock. Wow. This is normally a car park. This entire structure is the paddock club, I think. Oh, even more interesting is the Red Bull energy station, which you can see on the left. So that entire structure is constructed in Italy and then floated in, because normally that's a parking space for boats. There is absolutely no land there at all. Quite what you have to do to have an invite into the energy station is another one of the mysteries of the Monaco Grand Prix. We'll have a little walk down there. Lots of team people. So, Red Bull energy station. Moored, as you can see. A little car on the wall. And the old days, I don't know if they used to have a swimming pool on top level there. I don't know if the swimming pool is still there. Oh wow, they now have several top levels. Just to be clear, who's part of Red Bull? And this is where people will dock, so all the real stars will be out on their boats at night and they'll turn up here in little tenders and then hop out and straight into the energy station, thus avoiding the paparazzi. Welcome to Monaco and the Tête de Cham. Highly recommended place to go view Monaco from. The Paddock Club, that's what that is. Oh, it's just awesome. That has come out of nowhere. There used to be a couple of tents, now look at it. In fact, they're not allowing the staff on there yet. I don't know. So where you see the F1 sign, that's the turnstile that everybody uses with their passes to actually enter the paddock. So technically the paddock starts here on the left. Formula One's place, FIA's place. Now usually when the circuit's not closed, anybody can walk up and down here. There's no passes, there's no secrets. And on the other side of the railing you get all the drivers and all the teams doing their thing. Is this Haas still building? We saw the Haas truck earlier, if you remember. Pirelli have a truck. A Ferrari HP stand. Hospitality suite. And that is somebody else. Aston Martin. A lot of these trucks only arrived yesterday, so they're still assembling, it being Wednesday. Mercedes. That's where we are. Alpine. Steak. Williams. All the generators. Oh, let's go up here. Let's go see the TV compound. It's always a lot of fun if you like cables. We made it. TV compound. A lot less things here than there used to be in the old days. There's a lot of it now centralized. All done on the internet these days. All the TV feeds from all the cameras, all the data. Not necessarily internet, but zings its way to Biggin Hill, where it's processed and they make the TV show. Oh, look over here at the secret place. Okay, that's not a very good view of the secret place. We'll go to the end and show you it from there. What I wanted to show you is the secret concrete beach area. Which you still can't see. Okay, we'll go down. I told you it was a secret, didn't I? There we go, the secret beach area. Not so many people there. It's May. This is not really tourist season yet. Now this black thing's interesting. This is the joint. You can see down here. So on the right is land, and on the left is floating concrete. So we're now on a large floating section of concrete. You should have seen the crane they brought in to install the hinge pin on that hinge when they built this, I don't know, 30 years ago maybe, long time ago. Anyhow, I'm hoping we can get down here. Actually the TV compound. In the middle there's the Pirelli place, which we'll go visit. And if you keep going down, that's the car park in the floating caisson. Okay, back at almost sea level. A very big boat, ship, a very big ship. There's actually a boat that goes across the harbour entrance, which you can access with your normal bus ticket here. So if you buy a bus ticket, as well as going on the buses, you can get a little boat ride across the port entrance, which saves you walking all the way around. So on the left it's the TV compound, and on the right we have the Pirelli place where they install all the tyres on the wheels. The teams bring the wheels up, Pirelli put tyres on, and then the teams take them back again. Ah, there we go. We can see the guys in action. Trying to get a run down. There we go. The Pirelli guys installing all the tyres.
All four there for you. Fantastic, thank you, sir.
Used to be a lot more impressive. The TV compound used to have BBC, ITV, NBC, ESPN. All the broadcasters will have their own trucks. So we've got a choice now. We can walk down inside the building or go back on the seaside. I think we'll go back on the seaside. All you'll see in the building is the outside of a fence. At least here you can see the boats and the see-through fence. If you try to come here when anything's happening, it will be stacked with people, and there's a real danger of falling to the water. Although to my knowledge nobody's ever actually fallen into the water, but there's no actual barriers, so once you get people when someone sees a driver and they're all clambering around on the other side of the fence. Very easy to get knocked in. So, back at the energy station. That was really a detour to get a feel for the land rather than actually seeing anybody interesting. But if you want to see drivers and things, this is the place to be. This little road along the side of the sea. I guess it's not a secret. So, does anybody remember where we were up to? We're back at the Raskas. Entrance to the Raskas corner. Raskas corner. Lots of people moving around.
Stop. Sit down.
Let's go the other way. So in the old days there used to be a stand just here overlooking the Raskas corner. Plenty of action there. Yes, it's the Bugatti shop. The Ferrari shop's down by the beach. The McLaren shop is down by the beach. Rolls Royce, Bentley, all those guys over by the beach. Not sure where Mercedes is, to be honest. So this is what you see if you don't buy a ticket. Monaco is very good at closing off every possible viewing point. Even though the race goes through the city, you cannot see it unless you buy a ticket or you're on somebody's terrace. So anyway, Raskas corner. Up the hill, either turn into the pits here or continue straight up to round Anthony Nogus. We'll take another little detour and go see if we can see the pits. Flying camera. Okay, this you're gonna like. Aston Martin safety cars. Lots of rides. I don't actually know when this is open or what the rules are, but obviously it's open now. The back end of the video is all for the tea stand. where the FIA lives. Oh, impressive dog.
Si, look.
Hey. Okay. Back on subject. So what does a Ferrari knows? A Ferrari knows what the Ferrari knows. All quite secretive, really. It's like they brought a double-decker bus. This will actually be a brilliant place to stand, because from here you've got the exit of the swimming pool and the straight down into Raskas. I use the word straight loosely. I think all these lights and all this rig has got nothing to do with Formula One. I think there's the brasserie underneath me here, which is a big nightclub pub, and I think all this stuff is for the parties in the evenings when the circuit opens again.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have lots of loudspeakers over a corner on a Formula One track. Some Haas noses. And your wires. See, I told you there was a swimming pool. So those are the T-bar stands over there, and that's the back of the L stand, my favourite stand. And this is the Automobile Club Control Centre, all delivered and installed for the occasion. And we can't actually go any further that way. So that's sort of the end of the pit lane. The next bit is closed, the run back onto the start straight. Oh, we can look at it. No, we can't. So what we're going to do now is going to go back down the pit lane and back onto the circuit. You would not believe how quiet this area is normally. Everything here is not here. It's just two flat areas of land with some bars underneath us. The rash gas popping away. These are all the generators that power it all. We couldn't find the socket big enough to plug it all in. so they have to bring their own electricity. This is another cool stand. V. Very close to the action. Let's get back onto the track, shall we? So this, if you can see it, is Anthony Noguez, a very nasty sharp right-hander. Many people just nip this barrier here, which throws them off slightly and straight to that barrier on the other side. Not much of a risk of that happening today. Having successfully negotiated anti-notice, we're now back on this start straight, which is not straight at all, as you can see from this handy track map. So we're over here. So not only are we on the start straight, we're also behind the pits now, which is where they store all their excess bits they can't fit anywhere else. So today's Wednesday, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning the track closes. And in the afternoon they have Formula 2, Formula 3 practice sessions, and then Friday pretty much the same thing, except now we also have Formula 1, and somewhere there's the Porsches in there as well. And then Saturday we have Formula 2, Formula 3, Formula 1 qualifying, free practice 3, all that good stuff. And then on Sunday we have the actual race itself. And the interesting thing is that when the track opens again at like, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, it's open. So everybody comes down here, big parties, all goes crazy. Over midnight, all shuts down. Overnight, they clean all the track, clean it all up again, close the circuit again at 7 in the morning, and the race cars are back on track. How weird is that? Okay, so we're starting to see the grid boxes now. This is number 19. You can see the little hole where they put the sensor that's electronically touch the car, so all the cars know they're in the right position before the start. Then there's quite a distance between the grid positions, you notice. It's a really big deal getting a good qualifying position in Monaco. Well, would you believe throughout this entire trip the only driver I saw was Lando Norris, and I saw him from the bus before I started filming. That's the way it is. So we're up to number 11. Halfway there. So as you can see, it's not as straight as you would expect for a start straight. And there's no stands. There is nobody overlooking apart from in the buildings. So if you have a building here, if you have an apartment or an office here, you either hang out and have a great Grand Prix, or you rent it out for an absolute fortune to a company or a team or a sponsor. What is that man doing up there? Oh, it's another cable camera. Ah, look at this. See the cable camera? See the cable, 3 cameras. Bit bigger than a GoPro, isn't it? So anyway, behind the lorries here, you can just about make out the podium. And here we come up to the finish line. Number 2. And who's going to be here on Sunday? Pole position in Monaco. Is there any more hallowed ground? And the finish line. So that was it. That was my 1.5 hour walk around Monaco in one shot, unscripted. So I will see how much I've got to speed up, as there might be some boring bits. So thank you for watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time. 150 meters to the Nouvelle Chicane. It's called the Nouvelle Chicane because there was an old chicane and they moved it into a new position about, I don't know, 25 years ago, 30 years ago.